Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the TheBINPodcast. I am your host today, the cheesiest people on earth, Cheesy B. And I'm joined by two of my co-hosts. Sadly, one of the co-hosts, LA Faithful, will not be joining us for a little bit. So it's just going to be me, MG, and B-Hub. But just so you guys know, he is dealing with some stuff. He will be back soon, hopefully. So yeah, but let me introduce you to a guy who loves Rocky. To my left. A guy who is so obsessed with Philly Fanatic, he got a headband of him. How are you doing, MG?
I am doing pretty good. I can't wait to talk some basketball. We got the NBA draft that passed us and some other things too, so let's have some fun.
That's good. I'm glad to hear it. And then the guy, wait, below me right here is the guy who's probably still depressed from his team getting eliminated from the NBA Finals on his birthday. L in the chat for the Celtics. B-Hub! How you doing, B-Hub?
As you said, a lot better than last week. But anything could be better than last week, so I'm going okay.
True. But that's one thing I like about the NBA, though. We got it. From last week's episode, we had an NBA draft. And we got free agency like next week, if I believe.
Coming up soon.
Yeah, it moves quickly. But MG, like I said, we had the NBA draft.
Yep.
You want to review all the first-round picks and tell me how to say the guy we drafted name, because I will botch it?
All right, so to this Thursday, ladies and gentlemen, we had the NBA draft, and it was quite interesting, to say the least. So I'll go through all the picks. So starting off with the first overall pick, as a lot of people know, it was the power forward from Duke, Apollo Banchero. Then at number 2, you had Chet Holmgren. At 3, you had Jabari Smith. Those are kind of the projected top 3. It just depended on what order we went in. Then we moved down to number 4, where Keegan Murray got selected to the Kings, followed by Jaden Ivey to the Pistons, Benedict Mathurin to the Pacers at 6, which was a very interesting pick there. And then at 7, you had Shaedon Sharpe to the Blazers. 8, you had Dyson Daniels to the Pelicans. At 9, the Spurs went Jeremy Sohan. That honestly was kind of the first shocker, if you ask me. I thought they would have went maybe a Johnny Davis or a A.J. Griffin. But right to pick right after that, Johnny Davis was selected by the Washington Wizards, followed by Ousmane Dieng, who went to the Knicks, but did get traded to the Thunder. The Thunder drafted Jalen Williams at 12. At 13, the Hornets selected Jalen Duren, but ended up trading that pick to the Pistons in a 3-team trade. So the Pistons got Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren. Then Ochai Agbaji went 14. Mark Williams went 15. Mark Williams out of Duke. 16, you had another Dukeman, A.J. Griffin. At 17, you had Tari Eason going to the Rockets. At 18, the Bulls selected Dalen Terry, which did not get good feedback from Bulls fans. But, you know, it is what it is. At 19, you had Jake LaRavia from Wake Forest. At 20, you had Malachi Branham going to the Spurs. At 21, you had Christian Braun, which honestly shocked me. I didn't think he'd go that early in the 20s. But at 22, you had Walker Kessler, the big man from the Grizzlies. At 23, the Sixers selected David Roddy, but did trade that to the Memphis Grizzlies and got back DeAnthony Melton. At 24, the Bucks selected Marjon Beauchamp from the G League Ignite. At 25, Blake Wesley went to Notre Dame. At 26, Wendell Moore Jr. went to the Mavericks. At 27, Nikola Jovic went to the Heat. At 28, the Warriors selected Patrick Baldwin Jr. At 29, that pick was to the Grizzlies, but I believe got traded to the Timberwolves, was Ty Washington Jr. At 30 was Peyton Watson from UCLA. So that was the first round. Here. So I think, or at least me and B-Hub and Hayden can join in on this too. We want to give our biggest winners of the draft. I don't really have much losers here. Other than the New York Knicks, is kind of the obvious one.
The New York Knicks are the biggest loser, bro.
But if they get Jalen Brunson, could that be worth it? Because that's kind of what their philosophy was here. So, but
Thing
my
is,
biggest winners, I have to go with two teams here: the Houston Rockets and the Detroit Pistons. The reason why I'm going to go to Rockets is because you got Jabari Smith Jr., who was a top three prospect in this class, could have been the number one overall pick, was definitely rumored to be that. Then you get Tari Eason from LSU at 17. Honestly, that's great value for both of those guys. And then the reason I say the Detroit Pistons is because you end up grabbing Jaden Ivey, putting him next to Cade Cunningham as the 1 and 2 guards in your system, and then you trade it back up into the lottery to select Jalen Duren, got him from the Charlotte Hornets pick. So I think that the Detroit Pistons really just they're starting to build in their future. They're actually starting to care now. Ever since the early 2000s with Chauncey Billups, Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, and all those crew, they really haven't built a winning culture, a winning team there. And now that is going to change, hopefully, because you already know what Kate Cunningham could be. Now you get Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren, who I've really liked both of those prospects coming in. So those are my winners. But B-Hub, who are yours?
Okay, you took both of the winners I had.
I
Honestly.
know, right?
But you kind of forgot about Sadiq Bey. I really like Sadiq Bey with the
Mm-hmm.
Pistons. I really like what they've done. But another winner, I feel like win the draft every year because they have so many picks. The Oklahoma City Thunder, like they took Chet Holmgren, even when Jabari Smith fell to number 2, they stayed there and took the guy they wanted, Chet Holmgren, and they traded multiple picks to get back to back picks. I hit my mic. But they took Jalen Williams, and then before that, they got Dieng from New Zealand. I've seen a little bit of him. I really like what he could be, but I think he's a little bit of a project.
Yep.
You're in Oklahoma. You could just build up because they really don't have much expectations. But I think if everything goes well, they could be a team that could maybe be in the play-in next year with how much they've added, how much cap space they have, and they're building something nice in OKC. Good job, Sam Presti, with his 1,000,000 picks.
Yeah. I'll go next. My biggest, and I want to add on to this Detroit. They also got but a veteran piece as well on draft night. They got Kemba Walker from the New York Knicks.
Yep.
Now, we know, B-Up could attest this from personal experience, he is inconsistent. Very.
Mm-hmm.
But you do get that veteran that's going to help this young core out and help them learn. Because we don't know what we're going to get from Kemba. We could get Kemba Walker from the Hornets. Or we could get New York Knicks Kemba Walker. We don't know. But
So Hayden, I didn't want to cut you off, but I think they already said they're going to try to contract buyout him. So yeah.
then what's the point of trading for him?
Oh, so the Knicks get off salary so they can get cap space into the free agency, so they can go for Jalen Brunson, and maybe a DeAndre Ayton. I've heard rumors of that.
Nah, DeAndre Ayton's going to the Mavs just to piss off a mod of mine.
Just to piss everyone off.
Just to piss off a mod of mine, okay?
I'm not gonna say names, but I know exactly the mod.
I know the mod as well.
Yeah, we got pissed
You know.
Yeah.
Dude, we'll get into this where we think people are going later, but
Mm-hmm.
I gotta agree. The Pistons are a big winner. I also gotta go OKC. And under the radar one, I'm gonna go the Wizards. Adding Johnny Davis. As much as I despise that man because he went to Wisconsin for basketball, he's pretty good. I gotta admit that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think those are a few more winners I would like to add to it, along with the OKC Thunder, the Pistons, of course, and the Rockets. But I think the Wizards should be up there in talks as well.
I have one more winner. And this team had the last pick of the lottery, I believe. They got Ochai Abachi, the Cavaliers. I really like that pick.
That team is
He's
very
very physical.
And
I like the upside he has. And the Cavs, that Cavs team, if they stay healthy, oh my gosh.
Hey, I don't know if you guys saw this. Satmos tweeted out the Cavs are one of the youngest teams. And with the starting lineup, and Kevin Love said, yeah, and I'm a young 35 years old.
Hey, Kevin Love, he's that guy.
He's that guy, man.
Minnesota.
He's that guy.
Kevin Love is not that guy. I mean, what?
Hey,
Oh,
don't
Say
you
not.
diss
I like
Kevin
that.
Love.
I like Kevin Love. He's a good guy.
I agree.
Bro, the Cavs are the biggest threat. No, I'm joking. If you know, you know. All right, MG.
What's up, bro?
You want to wrap this up, this draft stuff up? Wait, no. Shit. Before we move on. B-Hub, you go first. How do you feel about the Celtics draft?
We didn't have much. We literally had one pick because
Yeah.
we traded for Derek White during the deadline. Got rid of a pick that the Spurs got, and I believe with that pick the Spurs got Malachi Branham from Ohio State.
Yep.
So that was a pretty good spot to pick in. But I'm fine with it because it helped us go on a run. And without Derek White, we wouldn't have made it to the finals. So I'm fine with it. And in the second round, we had a really, really late pick, number 53 to be exact. We got J.D. Davison from Alabama. And what Brad Stevens said after the draft made me very high on this guy because we're going to give him time, let him mold up to become maybe a star in this league because he has some attributes to become a very good point guard. And he's very athletic, so I hope we give him a shot. He's probably going to be in the summer league. Well, pretty much most rookies are going to be in the summer league. He's going to probably be in the G League for a little bit. But I'm very excited with this pick. At least it's someone that we know we have on our team, except the guy overseas we had to wait like 2 years to get.
Yeah.
Like Yam Mater.
Yeah, I'll go next. I already forgot his name, MG. Our first round pick. Isn't it?
Try to say it, Hayden.
I
Try to say
know.
it.
I forgot his name. That's the thing.
Marjon Beauchamp.
Yeah, Mahjong Beauchamp. I don't care if I fucked it up, but wait, did I actually get it right?
Say it again.
Mahjong Beauchamp.
Marjon.
Mahjong Beauchamp.
Yes, there you go.
There we go. I did something right for once. Let's go. No, but I like him. I think he's going to fit in perfectly defensively with this team because we are very much a defensive team, just like all of our teams are. Just a little bit with the Sixers, but I think he'll fit in perfectly. I think he'll get some good learning experience from Drew Holiday and Giannis to learn developmentally, and I've been seeing he can be a shooter from what I saw, and he's great for ball movement, so I like the pick. He'll be good to build around with Giannis for the future.
And I think he's the future behind Connaughton because he has one more year left, right?
Connaughton did pick up his player option. We will talk more about that.
So if he performs, he might be out of your pay rate. So
I don't know.
You could have him build behind him. He just needs time and experience. That's it. And I really like the upside.
I do too. And Bucks fans are pissed off about. Well, they're mixed because I've been seeing some of them mad about it because they wanted a day one player. I was like, look at where we're at. We're not in the lottery. We're not going to get a day one type player. It's going to be
they don't even have a first round pick.
Exactly. We're lucky we have this first round pick because our next one's on until like 2026.
Like, why are you complaining?
Exactly. We won a championship from all the trades we've done. Trust the GM. Trust their process. You got to realize him and Norwar are the two developmental pieces to be with Giannis for the future, along with a older Grayson Allen. That's the whole plan of this future. You just gotta trust, and that's what Bucks fans don't get, because they want someone to replace George Hill, because they want Hill gone. Yes, I agree, but we are not replacing him in the draft was not the option. That's more free agency trained for a guy like a Derrick Rose, but.
You just gotta be patient and wait till free agency.
Exactly. And that's the thing. They're impatient as fuck.
Well, that's most sports fans, to be honest.
I know, but you gotta be patient. Like, you gotta look, we still have a championship roster. Honestly, I think we would have beat the Celtics if we had Middleton, but you guys beat us for a reason. I will never deny that. Next man up. We got Middleton coming back. We'll be just fine. Just trust the coaching and trust the pick. We don't need someone right away. We still got a good bench.
And you got Giannis.
Yeah. And we got the MVP. And an MVP type player. MG, how do you feel about the Philadelphia 76ers?
Messed up and said the baseball team.
I
Well, we didn't
almost
draft.
did,
We didn't
Joe.
draft anyone. We had one pick in this draft, which we traded away for D'Anthony Melton. Helped shipped out Danny Green. And with Danny Green going to be coming off a torn ACL, being at the age that he is, honestly, getting rid of him is not a bad idea. I guess you could say he was a good person. Even though he does take a lot of heat for being wildly inconsistent,
Daniel,
but
right.
he was a he was a good guy.
You know.
If he was a good guy, but time was up. Time to get a younger shooter in D'Anthony Melton, who, when he does get the playing time, is a very great player. So when you got a guy who can come off the bench, be a little bit more consistent than what we had, I think we'll take that. I think guys like Shake Milton on our team, who hasn't been consistent, Cork Maz, who hasn't been consistent as shooters. I think this was definitely something we need to address here. And I think it hopefully will work out pretty decent for us. So we'll see.
Okay. Now, before we move on, MG, do you want to wrap this draft segment up?
Listen. All I'm gonna say is about this draft is that it doesn't look the most top heavy. There's not like, there's no like LeBron James or Michael Jordan. Like there's not there doesn't, or from what we know, there's not like that type of superstar in that draft. But I think that you let some of these players develop, there is some serious talent in this class, and there's going to be a lot of hidden gems. There's going to be a lot of guys who's going to be in the league for a long time. You're going to have a lot of role players in this draft class. A lot of guys that went in the 20s and late 30s and stuff will be good role players. In the lottery picks, there wasn't, a lot of people did say, there's not no superstar potential. But I think in that top three, I think with Paulo Banchero, as long as he fixes up his defense, he has a good offensive polished game. He can be really good. Jabari Smith just has to work on his inside game. He's a great shooter. And then Chet Holmgren, as long as the size doesn't hurt him, he's going to be a great player. So this is going to be an underrated draft class. We're going to look at this draft class a few years from now. We're going to be like, man, you know what? This wasn't a bad class. This wasn't as bad as we thought it would starting off. So I really like this draft class, So, but we'll see. Only the future will tell.
Exactly.
And that's all you can do is wait to see in the future how it pans out.
Now, before we move on to our free agency segment, I want to test V-Hub's OG, how OG he is to the podcast. Can you tell me what app we were on when we mentioned Daniel Red and what series it was?
Oh my god.
I'm testing you, bruh. I'm testing you.
I know this was on Spotify before.
Nope.
But what was it?
Was it on Spotify? MG was in charge of Spotify. Was that episode on Spotify, MG?
That episode was on Spotify, I believe. The Daniel Red, like where Isaiah came up with that name, that was the Lakers and Heat NBA Finals series in which Danny Green hit a wide open three.
No, missed airballed a wide open three.
Airballed a wide open three. Yep.
And recorded right after, and it was
so technically I was right and wrong.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit of an OG.
Bruh, we gotta post on Throwback Thursdays, and if we do, that's gonna be the first episode we post.
Like you falling asleep.
Hey, shut up, that's on YouTube.
Alright.
No, but that won't happen good because we got cameras. No, but let's move on to NBA free agency. Now, before we do our fun little game MG has come up with, I want to talk about what we want our teams to do in free agency. MG, I'll let you go first. What do you want the Philadelphia 76ers to do in this free agency? Go.
Well, since the draft has passed us and we didn't have a pick, I really want to acquire a backup center that's better than DeAndre Jordan. If we're not going to trust Paul Reed to fill in that role, then you have to find a backup center. You have to do that. Now, I will not be mad if that means bringing back the Andre Drummond because he was a good backup center for us.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that would be a good pick. We've got a guy in Sergi Baca who is a free agent, so that is going
He's
there.
not even
You
start in our even bench
and he,
roster to take him.
yeah, JaVale McGee. That's an option for us at the center position
I want
for
JaVale McGee
backup.
as well.
So, and then like I said, Andre Drummond or Hassan Whiteside. Those are some backup centers because, when you have a guy like Joel Embiid, who's an MVP candidate at the center position, who's the number one option at the center position, when he's off the court, you're gonna need someone not to do what he does because there's not a lot of people to do what he does. But what you're going to need is someone who could come in there and be serviceable. Because
Yeah,
Embiid, when he's in the game, you're right, he's gonna play well. He's
he's
gonna
gonna
give
be
us
open.
a good lead. But we need someone who's gonna come in the game. I don't know what is happening with B-Hub right now, but we're
I
gonna
don't
need
know
someone who's
either.
gonna come in the game and just play serviceable. And Andre Drummond did that very well last season. So we're gonna need someone like that. So and then other than
My
that,
can't. My
um,
control. Like what?
other than signing a backup center, a lot of the things that we need really are gonna be through trades. Like, I mean, the PJ Tucker thing, I wouldn't mind that, but
Stay away from him. He's mine.
the Sixers want Eric Gordon back, or Eric Gordon. Daryl Morey wants him back, so that is something we'd have to trade for. Yeah, but backup center is my number one priority. Getting a backup
Okay.
big.
Okay, I'll go next, and we'll have the guy who made it the
Can I say
farthest.
something real quick?
Is your camera done dying?
Okay, I'm sorry. My computer was tripping out. I'm sorry. That was not me. My computer was tripping out.
Right.
Okay,
Hopefully it's good.
I'll go up. I'll go next, and we'll let the guy who went the farthest in the playoffs go last. And
Okay.
what I want from the Milwaukee Bucks, I want to. I want to, instead of having Bobby Portis pick up his what is it called, player option, I want to sign him to a multi-million-dollar deal. Get him locked in here for a good few years, a good 4-year contract. I want to get Bobby Portis locked up for. I also want to. I think you got to let George Hill go. I want to bring back PJ Tucker and Dante DiVincenzo. Bring back people who already know the offense. Because for those who do not know, we did trade away DiVincenzo at the trade deadline, but he is supposed to be a free agent this year. So I want to bring him back because for those who do not know, Dante DiVincenzo's defense is very, very, very underrated. MG can attest to this. Me and him are probably the two biggest Dante DiVincenzo's fans you'll see around in the sports community. But bring up back DiVincenzo, bring back Tucker, people who already know Mike Budenholzer's offense, two people who brought key pieces to the finals run. Because PJ Tucker filled in for DiVincenzo. I say you let Matthews walk, even though he had that good defensive year. Bring in DiVincenzo and Tucker to fill in the roles, and then just build up with the young. Let the young people develop. That's what I want. Oh yeah,
So-
and if you can't trade for Derrick Rose.
Obviously, we can't really do much because we have a lot of people under contract already.
Yeah.
But if someone that we don't have under contract that I'm willing to do is maybe extend Grant Williams because I think next year he'll become a free agent. Look into maybe extending Peyton Pritchard or writing the contract out. But if it's like a guy I want in free agency, is JaVale McGee because he has championship experience. He still plays pretty well. He's played pretty well the last few years. Ever since he's went to the Warriors, he's become a different player. And I would like that experience on my team. But if it's a young guy, because we really need power forwards, we need some size. But if it's a young guy that I think won't get kept by their team, is a guy like Marvin Bagley. I wouldn't be against bringing him in because he's a young guy. He destroyed us when he played us. Because I remember right before the All-Star break, he dropped like a nice 30 on us. It was bad. But I would love having Marvin Bagley on my team, get him decent minutes, become like a backup or even a friend starter for a little bit. So that's pretty much all with me, and let the young guys develop.
Okay.
Would you want to trade for someone try and get a guy like Malcolm Brogdon?
I wouldn't be against it, but it's all about the package. That's really all what it is, and I'm not willing to give up a lot.
What about
Because-
Derek White?
if I give up, I'm okay with giving up Derek White for Malcolm Brogdon because I'm a UVA guy. I love Malcolm Brogdon, but
Fuck you,
it
I
all
love him more.
depends. Whoa! I'm not gay for him like you. It's
Hey,
okay to be gay.
hey, I wanted to keep him
Happy
over
Pride Month.
Middleton. I did
That
want
is
to keep him
true.
over
That
Middleton.
is true. But if we get a Malcolm Brogdon, I'm fine with that. It just depends on the package. And if there's been rumors going around, we might go for John Collins.
Ooh,
I
that
would
sounds
not
bad.
be against that either. It just depends on the package. I really don't want to give up a lot of assets.
What about Al Horford?
John,
Would you
if
play
they want Al Horford, they can have Al Horford. I'll take John Collins.
You're like, I'll take him. I'll take him.
Like he's a younger guy,
And he
Al
has
Horford
playoff
probably-
experience. They had a deep playoff run
Yep.
a couple,
Well,
2 years ago. No, not last
The only
year's
time I
season.
see us trading Al or like seeing Al leave again is when his contract runs out.
Mhm.
Because I think after this year we'll probably bring him back because I think he should finish as a Celtic because of the years he's had here. It's either us or the Hawks. And remember, he's
Hope he
from
goes
the
to
Hawks.
Fuck you.
If we trade him to the Hawks, it's like where he began his career.
He won't
Yeah,
be
that-
mad about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd just be severely surprised if the Hawks would take Al Horford in a package
no.
of John Collins.
It's probably
Well,
not.
it's
Like,
either
it's a
Collins-
definite not. It's definitely not.
It's either Collins or Capella who's going for the Hawks.
If they want Grant Williams,
They'll actually. You want John Collins? They might. Marcus Smart might be in that deal, but Brad
Probably.
Stevens is not going to trade him.
No, Brad
That's
Stevens.
that-
yeah,
his guy.
Brad's been with them pretty much his whole career,
No.
and now because
Yep.
of the GM, it's gonna be hard for him to trade for some of the guys he coached.
Yep.
And that's one
and
thing that
he's been around like
That-
for years and years and years and years. But we just need some depth at the
That's-
forward position.
yeah.
And if a crazy blockbuster happens, I'm crazy.
Bro,
Like a
I
John
want
Collins,
some-
I'd love a John Collins.
I want
I don't
some
think
big
so.
trades to happen. And that kind of leads us into our next topic. This is a new game show hosted by MG Nas. It's called
Really?
Free Agency. Where will they go? He'll give us a guy who is a free agent and some trade rumor guys. And we will all pick where we think he will go. And it can be any of the 30 NBA teams. I almost said 32 thinking NFL. But MG, start us off with let us in easy. Let's start off with an easy one.
All right. So look, when I name these players, just for extra context, I will mention if they have a player option, or if they have a team option, or if they're unrestricted, or restricted. So just to give you guys the full context of everything. So I'm gonna give you guys the first one, and I'll go last for all these. James Harden is a restricted free agent with a player option. Does he stay in Philly? Does he pick up his option to stay in Philly, or does he go elsewhere?
I'll go first. I think he's going to pick up his player option and stay in Philly for this year. I think if Philly does get eliminated again in the playoffs, he's going to leave and go somewhere else.
Yep.
Back to Houston.
I don't know. This might be a high take or anything, but obviously I have him staying in Philly. But I think he's going to sign an extension, like a 2-year extension, because I've been hearing some stuff about that. I
Yeah.
think he'll be really open and staying with Philly. You're playing with Joel Embiid. Like, who wouldn't want to play Philly? He has Daryl Morey there. I think he's going to stay there for a while.
Yeah, we're on agreement here. James Harden ain't leaving us, especially with Daryl Morey being here. People always talk about, how James Harden, when he doesn't get his way, he, leaves. But he's never left Daryl Morey. In the year he left Houston, Morey was no longer the GM. So he's going to stay here. I think he'll pick up his option and then sign an extra year of an extension. So basically it's like a 2-year thing where 1 year he'll be playing his option, then the extended year will be next year. Honestly, I think he retires here in Philadelphia unless he does a 1-day contract in Houston and does that. But I think his last actual games will be here in Philadelphia because he is going to be 33 by the end of the season. He'll be 34 by the end of next season.
Yeah.
So if he signs that 2-year extension or takes the option plus the 1 year, he'll be 34 going on 35. So he'll
think
probably
so.
just retire then.
All right, who's the next player? And you can do people in trade rumors too.
Okay. Well, we have a restricted free agent
Ooh.
with a player option from the Los Angeles Lakers, Russell Westbrook. Does he stay? on a player option? Does he stay in general? Or does he get signed and traded? Or does he just leave a free? Does he decline his player option and just go on free agency? Hayden, go.
The head coach there was our assistant, and I know he's going to bring more Mike Budenholzer's type offense there. I love him. I think he'll do good, and I think he's going to want to get keep a star player there, and that's not Westbrook, not anymore. So I think Westbrook is going to be gone. I think they're going to. I would not be surprised if you go after a guy like a Malcolm Brogdon, who knows the type of system that he is. So I think he's going to go.
So,
go ahead.
You can continue. Okay. So with Westbrook, I think if he had some opportunities to go somewhere, he would. But I don't think anyone wants to trade for Westbrook, so I think he's going to have to stay. And the only other team I can see him going to realistically is OKC, because they have all the money. And that's where he's pretty much had his best years. I've been there for almost a decade. That's the only other team I can see him going, but I think the Lakers will pretty much have to keep him.
Yeah, well, from what it seems like, Westbrook, it seems like he will pick up his player option. It's not official yet, so that's why I'm still adding him here. And I think he'll pick up his player option and stay in LA.
Okay.
And that's what it seems like he'll do. So next, we're going to go at Washington Wizards shooting guard, unrestricted free agent, Bradley Beal. Does he sign an extension? Does he get signed and traded? Or does he leave? Wait, no. I don't think he can get signed and traded because he's unrestricted. So does he sign or does he leave?
I think he's going to leave, especially with their pickup of Johnny Davis. He's going to see that more. I can see him seeing that more as a replacement type. Because they do play around the same position. And I think he's going to be like, hey, yo, you get my replacement, I'm out. And I think he's going to go to a team like the New York Knicks.
Oh, okay.
The
Knicks.
Okay,
D-Hub.
Oh, I'm going to be a little different. This might be a hot take, or maybe I might be the smartest man alive. So I have him leaving as well. But I have him being signed and traded to Miami for Tyler Hero. A package around Tyler Hero.
Ooh.
Okay.
I don't like that. If I'm Miami. I wouldn't do that. That's just me.
If I'm Miami, I'm doing it.
I'm not, because you got Brad.
I think it's going to be a package around Tyler Hero.
Brad, Jimmy Butler,
but Tyler Hero has more upside right now than Bradley
I don't know,
Beal.
bro. Bradley Beal.
Bro, Bradley Beal's different sometimes, bro.
I know, but can he stay healthy?
He's different.
I'm just saying, it was not that long ago where Bradley Beal was the top 3 scorer in the league.
Oh, I know. Don't get me wrong.
Statistically,
there's
by the way.
so much questions with Bradley Beal, and if I'm Miami, I think
I think they do it, bro. When you look at it, bro, Bradley Beal right now is obviously. I think he's the better player than Tyler Hero. I think you take it. You take it, bro.
You take it.
But if it's BF scenario, yes. But I think Bradley Beal is going to leave as well.
Ooh.
I think, and this is going to go to my next guy, but I'm not going to say a name. I think Bradley Beal goes to the Dallas Mavericks.
Oh.
I know who you're talking.
Oh.
Which leads to my next candidates, Jalen Brunson.
I knew it, you fucker. I knew it. He's saying Dallas Mavericks will re-sign him.
All right, B-Hub.
He's going to New York with his dad. That's what I think. They're going to give him way too much money, and Dallas is not going to match. And maybe with MG, what he said, that could happen as well. And I wouldn't be shocked. And you might be a smart man. So I think he's just going to go with his dad.
Y'all already know where I got Bradley Beal going. So that means my boy Jalen Brunson is out of there.
Where is he going?
New York Knicks. Listen, his dad is there. So that's already one thing. His dad's coached him basically his entire life up until college in Dallas. But his dad is his college, from high school, all the way from when he was a baby. And they're going to plan to give him a 4-year, $110 million contract. So you getting $27 million a year, basically. You're going to play with your dad, and you get $27 million every year to play with your dad. I think he's going to take that. And Bradley Beal's going to fill a spot there. So
I can see that. see. Who's next? 'Cause
Luka?
this is fun.
Christian Wood and Bradley Beal.
That'll be... Dude, people forget that Christian Wood went there.
All right, so look, guys. We're gonna go to some underrated ones. Not some underrated, but some not all-star level players or great players. We're gonna go down a little bit.
Okay.
We are gonna go with Portland Trailblazers center Yusuf Nurkic.
Oh,
He's an unrestricted free agent on this list here. Yeah.
I think he leaves
Okay. You have a destination?
Brooklyn Nets.
Oh, you think he replaces Andre Drummond?
I think Drummond's gonna leave the Nets.
All right, B-Hub.
so I would like to agree with Hayden, but I think the Blazers are going to try to keep him. He knows the system. I know it's only been 1 year with Chauncey Billups, but I think they really like what he can do. He performed pretty well last year.
He did.
I think they'll try to keep him. But another team I think he could go to is the New York Knicks. But I think he's going to New York or he's staying with the Blazers.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with B-Hub. Yusuf Nurkic is gonna stay with the Blazers. They got Jeremy Grant. They drafted Shaden Sharp, so they have some pieces there. They got Anthony Simons, who could be returning back with them. I think he is going to stay with Portland and try to help Dame get a championship. Him and Dame are like the last guys of the main core there.
They are.
McCollum left, so he's the last of the core. No, that wasn't anyone's fault. It was just time for CJ to go, but I'm just saying.
MG? Who's next?
Next, we have Miami Heat power forward PJ Tucker.
He's leaving, coming to Milwaukee. He's coming back, baby.
We hope.
So, I honestly think he's going to the 76ers.
Fuck you, bitch.
I think they're gonna give him a nice 3-year bag. And how could you turn down playing with James Harden again? You're playing with Joel Embiid on a team that can make a deep run. But if he doesn't go to the Sixers, I think he might go back to the Suns because of someone else leaving. And I think he could fill a nice void there.
Hey, B-Up, you saying that he's going to the Sixers is why the Celtics lost in the final, you bitch.
But he didn't have that opinion before. He didn't have that opinion when the Celtics lost in the finals.
Okay.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I have PJ Tucker coming to the Sixers.
Fuck you.
I'm gonna trust the great sources we have. The great sources that it is true. The Sixers are gonna give him a 3-year. We're gonna give him a 3-year deal to come play under Daryl Morey and with James Harden once again, and possibly Eric Gordon, who would be a trade candidate. So that's where I have PJ Tucker going. If not, PJ Tucker could go to the Bucks.
Yeet.
They have to sacrifice some guys on that team, but
Fuck George Hill, I'll gladly sacrifice him for PJ
George
Tucker.
Hill and Wesley Matthews.
Fuck him, I'll gladly take PJ Tucker back. Not Matthews, but mainly George Hill.
But next we have DeAndre Ayton. Where's he going?
Ooh.
I said this earlier. He is going to the New York Knicks just for this one mod of mine. So yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh wait, no, not the Knicks, the Mavericks. My bad.
I feel like MG's going to say a place that I agree with, so I'm going to be different. I think DeAndre Ayton will be a Chicago Bull.
You're a
To
bitch.
watch.
Fuck
Hey. I think they'll do a Vooch sign-in trade. I think they're going to give up too much for Gobert, so why not go for a lower guy that is younger and has higher of an upside?
All right.
This is why we got beef, B-Hub.
I got an interesting spot. Are y'all ready for this?
Are you ready? I think I'm
So,
ready.
I know the Mavericks are a candidate, right?
Yeah.
But I have to get Bradley Beal, so they don't have the money for that. And they just got Christian Wood.
No.
I got the Knicks getting Jalen Brunson. They don't have just enough money for that because they got to extend R.J. Barrett when the time comes, right? But you know who will? You know who will? Because they only have one player who's going to be getting a lot of money. It's Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks. They will do a sign-in trade They will trade. They will get rid of They will get rid of Clint Capella in another trade, but it will be John Collins for DeAndre Ayton. That will be one of the biggest trades of the offseason.
If
I
that
see it.
if that happens, that duel will be nasty.
Trey
All
Young
the
and DeAndre
fucking
Ayton.
lobs, bruh.
Okay, with your thing, MG, I have
The
it a
Knicks will
little
hate him
switched.
more.
I have Gobert going to the Hawks, and then trading John Collins. So I
Speaking
have
of
it.
Gobert, let's just go on to Rudy
Yeah,
Gobert.
well, let's talk about Gobert. He's not a free agent. He's kind of a trade candidate. Where is he going, Hayden? We already know where Bill has him.
I am perfectly gonna predict this. Gobert is not gonna step foot near Chicago unless and when he has to play there. He is gonna go. He's gonna go to the Atlanta Hawks.
Okay.
Bring that defense, big man that they need,
I have Rudy Gobert going to the Chicago Bulls.
and that's why
I
you're
think
a bitch.
Hey,
Hey, if me making the right prediction here, if that's what that makes me, I'll be a bitch that's correct.
you'll be the
I
So there,
smartest
you still
bitch.
be a bitch.
Yeah.
The smartest.
You
Yep.
still be a bitch. No.
All right. So let's see. Let's see. We got a lot. This is a long list of free agents. Let's touch on one from the Charlotte Hornets, Miles Bridges. He
Ooh.
is unrestricted. No, he's a restricted free agent. So the Charlotte can match any deal.
He goes back.
V-Hub?
I think they give in because he was, in my opinion, the best player they had last year statistically, and him and LaMelo Ball in the pick and roll, that's going to be deadly for years to come. But if he doesn't go there, he will be a Detroit Piston.
Yeah, I have him staying there. I have him staying because they're going to give in. They're going to be like, all right, you and LaMelo have great chemistry. Let's not
They
even mess
have
it
to,
up.
right? They have
They're
to, right?
they're about to have a new coach, so they might as well keep that core, the young core, between them two together. But if not, I agree with B-Hub. He's going back home. Home is Detroit for him, so that's where he's from. So it's either Detroit or it's going over or staying in Charlotte.
Who knows anymore? But
Who's
speaking
next?
of the Hornets,
Oh, go ahead.
speaking of Hornets, didn't they bring back Sean Clifford to that?
Yeah.
That's weird. They brought him back. That's crazy. They fired him. They're like, nah, we didn't get Kenny Atkinson, so come back. Come back.
Come on, man. We won't fire you
Well,
after this
I-
year.
We're
And
going to fire
honestly,
you after a year.
Kenny
Somewhere else.
Atkinson, bro. Kenny Atkinson. I don't blame him. You want to go to a championship team.
Hey, he's winning rings, so.
Yeah. All right, so let's see. We have some interesting ones here on this list. One of them I was surprised to see, or not surprised to see here. One of them I was very interested in, which was where is it? I just lost the name. Okay,
We'll find
one
out.
of the free agent signings I found was honestly interesting. Was Victor Oladipo? He is unrestricted. So where does he go?
Wait, Victor Oladipo's a free agent?
Yes, sir.
Fuck you, George Hill. Bring him here.
B-Hub.
I think he stays in Miami. He's raved about how much they helped him recover, and I don't see him leaving. He could be an integral part of being a rotational piece because he's not that Victor Oladipo anymore with the Pacers. Unfortunately, injuries happen, but I could see him staying in Miami, and that's what I think happens.
Bro,
Yeah, I've been playing in Miami. Cheap deal. Be the 7th or 8th guy off the bench. That's where he wants to be. I feel like the rest of his career.
Bro, I'll let him be the 6th man. No, not 6th. I'll let him be the 7th, 8th man off our bench, and we'll bring him a ring. So come on over, Victor Oladipo. I love you from 2K. You carried one of my leagues, so come on over, buddy.
All right.
Like, yeah.
Well, so next up will be Andre Drummond.
Ooh.
Now, I have Andre Drummond leaving.
Where's he going?
He's gonna go to the Phoenix Suns
Okay.
and replace DeAndre Ayton, who's going to the. Who did I say again?
Sure, you forgot.
I have a terrible memory. Oh yeah, the Mavericks. The Mavericks. Yeah. I have a terrible.
B-Hub, where do you have Andre Drummond go?
Andre Drummond, let him go back to the 76ers as a backup. I don't think he's going to become a starter again. Why not go to the 76ers on a championship-winning team? Go back to Philly.
Go on back. MG, I think we just gotta move on to my hot take after that. It's gonna get better too. I got
How
a hot
did you
take.
forget already?
Oh,
it was 3 minutes ago.
I don't want to talk about it. Oh, just wait. I got a hot take coming up too. It's gonna get better.
Andre Drummond is going to come back to Philly. I honestly, I don't even care about that anymore. What I just heard, he said, I have DeAndre ain't going here. Wait, where did I have him going? Oh, yeah, I have him going here.
Oh, yeah, I have him going to Dallas.
Wait, he said Phoenix.
Andre Drummond is going to Phoenix, and
Is
DeAndre
it
is going
Phoenix
to
or Dallas?
Mavericks.
Which one is it? Which one is it?
He's going to Phoenix.
All right. Now,
Moving on.
ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of some of our free agent stuff.
Wow, you're not going to do Bobby Portis? I see how it is, you bitch.
We are going to move on, ladies and gentlemen. Hayden has a hot take. He wants us to hear it. He wants us to react to this.
Sure.
So, you say it, and I'm going to let B-Hub go first.
I've been doing some thinking, you guys. It's never a good thing when I think. But I've been thinking about this next roster, Kyrie, KD, what's happening, Ben Simmons, big question mark. And I decided, if I'm the Brooklyn Nets, I'll trade Kyrie Irving to the Lakers for some of their role pieces and some picks, and run with Ben and KD, because Ben Simmons will be more help to this Nets team than Kyrie Irving ever was.
B-Hub, your thoughts?
Lakers literally have no picks until like 2027.
I know, but like you just trade him somewhere, get some good like role pieces, build around them too, and let the duo go, because your big three failed. You need the defense, so trade him to a team that can get you some good defensive role pieces, and then call it a day. Because Ben Simmons and KD will be a better duo than Kyrie and KD.
I'm just going to disagree.
It's
We haven't seen Ben Simmons, and the last time we saw him had the worst playoff series I've seen in a long time.
But yet we don't mention how he was an all-star that year and how he was putting up.
But you also don't mention he didn't want to shoot the ball. He was that scared of the moment.
Yeah, that's fine. Because you got a guy named Kevin Durant who would shoot it for you.
He had Joel Embiid.
That's fine. Joel Embiid is not Kevin Durant.
I think B-Hub's not saying that. He's just saying he had a superstar or a star player next to him, and he still couldn't win.
But KD shows that he can drop 50 points. You just need help around him, and that's what Ben Simmons will bring. He'll bring more of the defensive part of the game that the Celtics need. And yes, does he suck from three? Yes, we all know about it. But this is a fresh start he needs, and I think this will be what Ben Simmons needs to turn his career around, and that he'll be better than Kyrie and KD ever was as a duo.
Now, here's what I will say. If you are going to say this for the reasoning of Ben Simmons will be more available than Kyrie because Kyrie has availability issues, then fine. I can't argue against his availability. But when you look at just I think the overall fit of the guys, I think I'm just going to have to go with KD and Kyrie because of the simple fact is that when they were on the court together, they did win some basketball games. Now, I know the Celtics series was not a great example of that, but when you look at that, when you look at before that, well, you're talking about the Bucks series where the Nets had the lead when Kyrie was healthy.
No, it was tied. It was tied 2-2.
Oh,
It was 2-1.
wow.
It was 2-1 when Kyrie got hurt. You tied it again. You
Oh
tied the
yeah, yeah,
series.
yeah, yeah, that's right.
So it was 2-1 when Kyrie got hurt.
Almost.
We
So
still beat
I
him, bro.
think
I don't
when it
care.
goes when it goes to the overall skill set of both Ben Simmons and Kyrie and playing next to KD, I do think Kyrie is still the better fit next to KD. Now, I'm not saying Ben Simmons is like a terrible fit next to KD, but what I am saying is I think Kyrie is a better fit. It's just his availability is I can't argue with.
Yeah, and
So
I see that. I see that, and I take that into factor. I take the skills they bring into the game because we can agree Kyrie's a better ball handler. Kyrie's a better shooter. Like offensively, it goes to Kyrie.
Kyrie's better at everything, but maybe passing and
And
then
defense.
defense.
And I think that's what's going to help KD out more, though. Because if you come down to the end of the game, they will come into a disagreement.
no.
That's
That's not true. When have they done that as a duo? Where's the proof? Where's the evidence of this? They've played together before.
Talking out your butt right now.
Where's the proof of this? They've played some games together.
Show the proof, bro.
Let's see. They've played.
Come on,
Where have they disagreed of taking the last shot? I want to say it was game 1 in Boston, where it was the
Yes.
close game,
That's the
where
biggest one.
where the offense was set up and they ran an offensive play. Where actually, I believe Kyrie passed it to KD on the last possession, where KD missed the shot.
And that's
In
probably.
game 1, which led to the Celtics then going to get a buzzer beater layup by Jason Tatum. So Kyrie actually gave the ball up to KD, so there was no issue there. Kyrie had no issue with passing the ball there in game 2 versus Boston, or game 1 versus Boston. In game 2 versus Boston, Kyrie, I believe it was game 2 where Kyrie, or game 1, one of those games where Kyrie was really going off in the second and third quarter,
I think it
where
was game two,
KD,
popped off.
where KD let him have most of the possessions because KD was also struggling. And then game 3 and 4, they both struggled. And then when you look at this last time we see Kyrie and KD in the playoffs, they were up against the NBA champions 2-1 in the series. So I don't think there's any proof that they have arguments or disagreements when it comes down to clutch shot making. Because when all the proof we've seen in clutch shots is that Kyrie had no problem passing to KD, and KD had no problem giving it up to Kyrie. I don't think that should be a reasoning in your take here.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that, then. But I think just Ben Simmons' defensive and passing will help this six. Fuck, I said Sixers. I mean, same amount of Sixers. This Nets team more than it will with Kyrie on the court because he can open up the offense more for like these other people when he goes in, drives in more because that's more what Ben does compared to Kyrie, where he can go wherever. And that'll get more guys like Seth Curry involved, Bruce Brown. I'm trying to think off the top of my head of Nets players.
I think
But
with
like
that,
that.
as far as that, I mean, Bruce Brown, he had the best year of his career
Fuck yeah.
when he had his best moments when Kyrie was playing with the Brooklyn Nets this year. So I don't know if necessarily Bruce Brown will get any better just because Ben Simmons is on the
I'm
court.
just trying to say he'll get more open shots. Is what I'm trying to say.
But I don't think that's necessarily true because that's not true because when you're defending Ben Simmons, you're going to defend the other shooters more because Ben Simmons can't do that.
Bingo.
You'll just have an extra defender in the paint. So where when you have Kyrie, you'll actually have extra guys and extra eyes on him, and he'll actually open up more for the other guys. And as long as Kyrie makes the pass, then we're all good. He passes it to the open guy. And Ben Simmons is a good passer. No doubt about it. He is a good passer. But I don't think I think he is a good facilitator, and he does find shooters when they are open. But I think part of the reason why it might be a little bit difficult for that, especially in the Nets will find this out, and this is not me, downplaying Simmons, is that you have to scheme it. It's harder to scheme Ben Simmons is facilitating because you know how the defense is going to guard him. They're going to let him have the open. They're going to let him have an open jump shot. So they don't mind sending extra help to Seth Curry. And then once Ben Simmons drives in, you crash in the big's going to be in the paint waiting for him. You have the outside shooters already covered up, so Ben can't kick it out. Now he has to show that he's going to actually step up and actually not be scared to shoot the ball. So listen, I'm not saying Ben Simmons has to be Steph Curry. I'm not saying Ben Simmons has to be Klay Thompson. He doesn't even have to be in an Andrew Wiggins level of a shooter. But just the willingness to take a jump shot will help your take even more of him opening up the floor. Because
Man,
if
please.
he's just willing, I'm not like I said, I'm not asking him. And this is the whole last season with the Sixers.
So
You don't have to be Steph Curry.
refreshing MG's brain of what happened multiple years.
You don't
I'm
have to
giving him
be.
5 facts.
He
It's
doesn't
like
have to
Vietnam.
be. You don't have to be these elite shooters. But if he is willing to shoot the ball, then your take might make a little bit more sense because then that will open up the floor even more. Because if he's willing to shoot the ball, now you actually have to go guard him, contest the shot. Now his facilitating becomes even more of a threat because now you have a defender actually guarding him. You got 1-on-1, and then you have good shooters like KD, who can score in the ISO. You have Curry who can shoot contested threes as well. Then that's when those guys actually become more of a factor with Simmons on the court. So I just think Simmons has to go there. He has to improve. He what he's done in his career, yeah, he's gotten a few All-Stars, but it's time for him to actually improve. If he wants to show what your take is to be true, if he wants to show, that he
Yeah.
actually is worthy and that trade was the right move for the Brooklyn Nets, he has to at least be willing to take a shot. And that's all I'm saying about your take is that it's just some things we haven't seen from Ben Simmons yet, especially he hasn't even played with KD yet, where we've seen some of the things with Kyrie when he is on the court, is that, I mean, I just think KD and Kyrie are the better duo, and Simmons has not showed us that he wants to make the extra adjustments to be a better player, and that could hurt his team and hurt his partnership with Kevin Durant. So we'll see, though. We'll see.
Okay. Do you have anything you want to wrap up about this take, and then, or anything NBA wise?
Anything NBA wise, let's have so many Woj bombs. I just want so many Woj bombs.
Nah, fuck Woj. We about Shams here.
Wow. What about a Shams bomb?
Shams bomb over Woj bombs.
Like with the Ben Simmons stuff, I think he can be a very good player, but I don't think he will be ever an all-star level player again. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. But I think the only reason he benefited was because he played with Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris, and a weaker Eastern Conference. But
He lost
he's
Trae Young. Yeah.
he could be a very good player. But dang, be willing to shoot the ball, dude. Be accountable. Make yourself better. Because if you're better, it'll make the Nets better, it'll make KD better, and it'll make you have deeper playoff runs. Just be willing to change. That's all.
Bruh.
And don't come up with these stupid reasons to hold out. That's all. If you're really going through mental health stuff, I'm sorry for what you're going through, but it seems like it's just another thing after another thing after another thing. So you don't want to get on the court. I want you to show up and prove me wrong. That's all I want. Prove me wrong.
Anything NBA wise you want to say before we wrap this thing up?
I mean, I think B-Hub. I think me and B-Hub pretty much hit it spot on. As far as what we think about this, but I just it's going to be an interesting offseason. We'll see where some of these guys like Bradley Beal, you got guys like PJ Tucker, Jalen Brunson, DeAndre Ayton. We'll see where some of these guys go, man. We'll see how these draft picks work out. We got the Summer League coming up in like 2 weeks, so that's something to look out for. Not that a lot with the Summer League, it just depends on what rookies I like and if they're going to be playing or not. I might catch a couple of games of the Sixers Summer League team, just see what guys can potentially move up on the depth chart and become bench players or something. So we got the Summer League coming up, and then so just come back next week for next week's episode. I think that week we'll probably be talking about some baseball. So yeah,
Let's talk about some free agency moves.
When does free agency start again?
Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern, which is a weird time.
So we'll probably be talking NBA and MLB, so come on back for that.
We could be talking about some crazy stuff happening, like some signings.
Who knows? We might have Julio news. Who knows? We can OBJ news, NFL-wise. We don't know.
Maybe Gronk will unretire already.
Bill Brady. No, but who knows? But yeah. I just want to say, again, Isaiah probably will not be on the episodes for a few more weeks. Hopefully he'll be back soon. He should be okay. We are sending him love and support from the BIN podcast. And I just want to say this, wrapping up NBA. We are a Shams Twitter guy, B-Hub, not a Woj Twitter guy. I'm disappointing you.
Woj did beat Shams on draft day.
Yeah,
did do
that's
that.
fine. But free agency last year, Shams destroyed Woj.
I'll give him that. Shams is way better than Woj for free agency, but for the draft, Woj is that guy.
Yeah, Woj is the guy for the draft. That's why it's all about Shams right now, bro.
And maybe some trades. Sometimes he messes up.
Yeah.
And thank you for watching.
Yeah. Yeah, and speaking of that, what are your final words?
I say thank you everyone for watching. We all appreciate it. We're going to be more consistent this year than ever before. But thank you. Make sure you like and subscribe. And, have a good day,
B-Hub, I think that's some wisdom right there. MG, could you top that?
Have fun. Enjoy your life.
And don't die.
And what goes around comes around, guys. If you haven't already, hit that like and sub on my channel, MG's channel, Isaiah's channel, and B-Hub's channel. I'm trying to get him to post, but he won't. He's refusing.
Whoa.
Hey, you're refusing, bro.
It'll be soon when I get something.
In the episode first, bro. In the episode.
I will. And if you haven't already, hit that like and sub. And as always, what goes around comes around. Piss off, cunt.